Hey guys, it's Yali with Herbal Turtle here for your pick a card pile for the week of May 25th through May 31st, 2024. This is where you are going to pick a card pile that you are the most intuitively drawn to, and I'm going to tell you about your week and how it's going to go. All right, we'll start with our first card pile. It's been intense energies this week. It'll get a little bit. I'll leave it at that. Can feel like we're starting from ground zero. So okay. So for our first card pile, it seems like, let me straighten this up. It's looking like there's emotional fulfillment, emotional happiness, and it's more, and also material wealth. And it's giving the energy of, man, I got some good things going for me, but I still feel pain. I still feel heartache over the situation. And it's essentially, let me fix this. It's essentially the feeling of loss, of being so logical that it hurts your heart. And sometimes we can think ourselves into our own pain, and that's not always healthy, you know? When you're going through this week, I want you to think about, actually, I want you to try to quiet your mind, and I want you to try and listen, as corny as it sounds, try and listen to your heart. What does your heart want? What does it really want, and what is it really asking for? And sometimes starting from the ground, starting from ground zero, isn't a bad thing. And I know you know on manifesting, but I feel like sometimes you can be a little pessimistic on, do I gotta manifest again? Yes, you do. And I want you to think about healing. I want you to think about what actually brings you comfort, what actually brings you pain, what brings you growth, what brings you stagnation. Because these are important things that you need to know for the future and what to look out for. So just because you're starting over, or just because you're starting something new, really doesn't mean that you're new to this. Think about all the life experience that you've had before. Yes, you may be new to the situation, but you've learned a lot. You've grown a lot, and you got to give yourself credit. Because if you don't give yourself credit, who's going to give you credit? No one. And not only that, if people give you credit, it's still not going to fulfill. It's still not going to fill that gap that you have. So know what you want. Know what you want to manifest. And don't forget how far you've come, and don't forget who you are. This week is going to be enlightening for you. But don't think yourself into the oblivion. Okay, that's all I got for this card pile. Had to talk some little pep talk. Nothing wrong with a little pep talk. Second card pile. My goodness. It has unfortunately taken you a lot to get where you are. Do not, under any circumstances, compromise your worth, your value, anything for the sake of security, for the sake of comfort. Be uncomfortable. Be challenged. Be the best version of yourself safely. I say that because sometimes I can be a little hyper focused on my goals, and I forget to eat, forget to sleep. You know, it's all about taking care of yourself and you realizing what worked for you, what didn't work for you, and you realizing your own pain, you realizing your worth. And this feels like you really needing to tap into your spiritual sense. The pain that you're feeling or that you're trying to put the pieces together with is going to make sense whenever you meditate or you pray or you're outside and you're just hanging out in nature. So don't compromise your values. You have a lot going for you right now. Stay in, how do I say? Don't go back. Don't go backwards. And the oracle I have for you guys is be a light to others. All that pain that you went through is not for nothing. Make sure you are sharing your story. Not only that, sharing your story also makes you accountable into kind of putting pressure on you to not go backwards. So share your story. Tell a friend. Talk to someone about it. Tell someone to hold you accountable to make sure you don't go back to your old habits, your old ways, the old people, old friends, old relationships, old mindsets, old careers, old jobs, old whatever. But you're very much capable of doing it on your own. But if you need someone to hold you accountable, I'm right here. If you want to vent, I am right here. Okay, that's it for this card pile. You better keep up your self-confidence. Work on your self-confidence. Oops, my bad. Work on your self-confidence. Be rooted in reality. You can go out, hang out with friends, you can make some noise. And by make some noise, I mean like, you can be loud, you know? It seems like you have a soulmate type connection that wants to emerge. It's okay to indulge on that. You have worked hard. You are in your bag. You are doing well for yourself. You're done with the emotional baggage of the past. You know, you're taking steps forward, but make sure they're intentional. Make sure that they are valuing your characteristics, and make sure it's what's in your heart, in your heartiest of hearts, because this can also be you being tired of a past life connection. And sometimes people need a break from it, you know? Sometimes one side is more evolved than the other. And that's okay. That is entirely okay. Just know past life connections are faded, but also know what your heart wants. So your oracles are connect to the heart. Make sure you know what you want. Work on yourself. Focus on how you interact in relationships, who you are in relationships. Don't ever compromise your values for anyone. And know that this is fate. Sometimes we don't have control, you know? And sometimes we do. Know when things are in your control and know when things are not. Know when to hold on, know when to let go. Everything is in perfect timing and perfect alignment. Whether you choose to do the work or you choose not to, everything's going to pan out the way it's supposed to. It'll be a little easier if you chose to do the work, but everything will always pan out the way it's supposed to. So don't be so hard on yourself. You're in the right moment at the right time. You're in the right body. You're having the right emotions. You're not crazy. But don't be afraid to reach out. And don't be afraid to talk to this connection, to this past life connection. Get clarity on what it is. Because it's going to be hard to move on. It's going to be hard to know where to go if you don't get some clarity, you know? So don't be so hard on yourself. Just be open and honest. But that requires open and honesty on both sides. And sometimes both sides aren't always open and honest. But this time, I'll try to send good vibes that they will be open and honest. Alright guys, well that is it. And if y'all have any questions or y'all need a vent or anything at all, feel free to send a message, text, DM, email. And yeah, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be a good week. And other than that, stay juicy.